There are remarkable stories forgotten by history, like the story of Hessy Levinsons Taft. When she was just 6 months old, a picture of her is chosen to appear on the cover of a Nazi propaganda magazine as the perfect Aryan baby. But she's Jewish.
Hessy's perfect Aryan baby story might just be the dumbest pile of nonsense I've ever heard, and trust me, the bar for idiocy is set high. The fact that anyone, anywhere is pushing this story with a straight face deserves a gold medal in Olympic-level brainlessness.
This is you.
Yes.
And you're Jewish.
Yes.
So how is it that you wound up on the cover of a Nazi propaganda magazine?
That's a very interesting story.
This isn't some groundbreaking expose. It's just comedy gold. Like, we're all supposed to sit here nodding along like, oh yes, this makes sense, when it makes about as much sense as using a potato to represent six-pack abs. The implied narrative, what everyone has been spoon-fed, is that Aryan equals some Nordic Barbie Ken doll aesthetic, right? So explain to me how we go from that to Hessy's picture, where she's rocking black hair and dark eyes, looking about as Aryan as a goth at a beach volleyball tournament. Is this a joke? Was it satire? April Fools? Or were they running some kind of inside gag to see who could troll the hardest? And let's just take a moment for Hessy's delusions of grandeur. Oh, I was the perfect Aryan baby. Are you for real?
What?
Sweetheart, where? You look like every other baby on the planet, just a squishy, generic little face. Then you grow up, and what do we get? Not exactly Aryan supermodel vibes, huh? It's like if a turtle tried to pass as a gazelle. But wait, it gets better. The people eating this up as some gotcha moment against the Nazis. Are you okay? Do you even hear yourselves? The story doesn't prove anything except that Hessy is possibly the most self-important liar to ever shove her baby photo into the spotlight. And then there's the photographer. Oh, this one's rich. According to the story, they submitted Hessy's photo as a troll, knowing she was Jewish. Okay, bold move, but what exactly was the plan here? If they actually submitted this photo to a Nazi contest thinking it was some grand troll, congrats, you played yourself. Because apparently no one noticed or cared, until Hessy's dumbass decided to start waving the flag of perfect Aryan baby decades later.
This is a picture of me, Hessy Levinsons, taken when I was about 6 months old and published on the cover of a magazine, a Nazi magazine, dated January 24, 1935. It says Sonne ins Haus, and it represents supposed to represent the perfect Aryan baby. But it was me, a Jewish child, on the cover. Of a Nazi magazine.
This story isn't a flex, it's a self-own. She's the one running around pointing at her baby photo like it's some massive victory. But all it does is raise a giant neon-lit question, squarely on Hessy's dumbass story and the parade of morons spreading it like it's some kind of epic roast. If the master race aesthetic is blonde hair and blue eyes, then why is your photo on it? You can't be the exception and the rule at the same time. Genius. So Hessy, here's the deal. You're either lying through your teeth to stay relevant, or you genuinely believe you're some kind of anomaly that proves everyone wrong. Either way, you played yourself. Now, let's address the geniuses who keep spreading this story like it's some earth-shattering revelation. Oh, look, the Nazis picked a Jewish baby as their ideal Aryan. What irony. No, Karen, what stupidity. If this story is true, and let's be real, it's not. It doesn't prove anything except that whoever picked the photo was as clueless as Hessy is delusional. It's not some epic gotcha moment, it's a giant flashing sign that says, none of us know what the hell we're talking about. This is about how absurd this entire story is and how hard it fails under its own ridiculous logic. If the whole master race idea revolves around blonde hair and blue eyes, then how the hell is Hessy's photo the winner? You can't have it both ways, folks. The people who believe this story without question. You all are the MVPs of gullibility. You'll look at a black-haired, dark-eyed baby and go, yup, perfect Aryan, makes total sense. Meanwhile, every functioning brain cell in the room is screaming, hello! Does this not seem a little off? And Hessy, Sweetheart, let's talk about you for a second. You've got some nerve pushing this nonsense like it's a badge of honor. I was the perfect Aryan baby. No, you were just a regular baby whose photo got used in a way that literally makes no sense. Hessy, take several seats. You're not the perfect Aryan baby. You're the perfect example of how to turn a non-story into a cringe fest. In conclusion, this entire saga is a masterclass in stupidity. From Hessy's bizarre flex to the people blindly believing it, to the photographers who supposedly started this mess, every single person involved deserves a standing ovation for making the dumbest story ever told somehow even dumber. Bravo, you absolute clowns. The joke's on all of you. Because the nonsense surrounding the perfect Aryan baby and Nazi propaganda is a circus so ridiculous it deserves its own reality show. Seriously, how is anyone still regurgitating this crap without choking on their own absurdity? Then there's this yearbook photo BS. So we've got a yearbook comparison of Aryan kids versus Jewish kids, and the story somehow still doesn't click for these people. Do you think the Nazis, with their laser focus on visual propaganda, would look at Hessy's photo and go, "Wait a sec, she totally belongs on the Aryan side of this chart"? It's laughable. You don't even need a propaganda analyst to call BS on this. Just basic pattern recognition. Hessy's image matching Nazi ideals. That's like throwing a poodle into a wolf exhibit and claiming it's the pack leader. Get real. Then there's another photo with the caption, "Hair comparison." The hair color was compared with artificial hair on a color chart. The fact that the Führer himself, who wanted to Germanize Europe, was neither blonde nor blue-eyed, did not stop the Nazi racial madness. Seriously? Hitler had blue eyes. Are you kidding me? This is basic level history. And stop putting random crap in quotes when it's not actually a quote. None of this is factual. There's zero evidence, no documents, no transcripts, nothing that lays out some rigid description of what an Aryan is supposed to look like, let alone declaring it's all blonde hair and blue eyes. You're grasping at straws, trying to force a connection that doesn't exist. Of course, you're going to see blonde people in propaganda. Those are traits commonly found in Germanic Nordic people. Germany is the historical land of the Germanic people, who tend to have those features. It's nationalist propaganda promoting unique Germanic traits. What did you expect? Would you look at North Korean propaganda and expect to see a bunch of Germanic people? No, you'd see Asians. This isn't rocket science. Use your head. The logic here is so broken, it might need a GoFundMe for repairs. The science of Germanic traits, blonde hair, blue-grey eyes, and fair skin are not fairy tales. They're genetically rooted in Northern European populations. These traits didn't pop up by accident. They're the product of environmental and genetic evolution over thousands of years. If we can acknowledge phenotypes in other groups, like Native Americans with high cheekbones and straight black hair, why is it suddenly taboo to say the same for Germanic people? Germanic traits are real, and their consistent presence in propaganda wasn't a mandate for everyone to look like a Scandinavian model. It was about celebrating regional heritage. Denying the historical and genetic realities of Germanic traits while trying to shoehorn in nonsensical narratives like Hessy's self-proclaimed perfect Aryan baby is embarrassing for everyone involved. Because honestly, this isn't about Nazis or what they did or didn't believe. It's about how absolutely face-meltingly stupid her claims are under the very premise she's leaning on. Propaganda doesn't reflect policy. It's symbolic, not a literal checklist. Hessy's story is a farce. Move on.